My wife wants to do something stupid, right? So, I'm going to dismantle her plan and absolutely ruin her. I'm 42 male. I have 2 boys, Adam and Leo. Their mom passed away 5 years ago, and I married my wife Rose about a year ago. Rose adores both of my boys, but complains about Leo being overly uptight and close up. It's true that he likes to keep to himself, doesn't participate in most family functions, but that's just how he is. My wife has taken it personally and kept saying that Leo clearly doesn't like her, or doesn't like spending time with her. What she started doing was trying to exclude him from events under the excuse of he wouldn't be interested anyways, which I thought was wrong because he's picked up on that, and started asking why. So I told my wife to just do her part, and that's giving him the choice to decide whether he wants to participate or not, and not outright exclude him for no reason. Well, I've been arranging for a family trip, and days ago I booked a ticket/hotel reservation upon deciding on our destination. Side note, I was paying for the entire thing. But the day of the trip I found out that Leo's ticket had been canceled. I was dumbfounded to discover it was my wife who canceled it. I immediately confronted her and she said she'd figured Leo wouldn't want to come anyways, but she knew he said he'd go. She tried to argue that due to his quote moody personality and introvert nature, or he'd change his mind last minute or go on the trip but turn it into a miserable experience for all of us. I got so mad at her, especially after she tried pressuring me to leave him with his aunt. I canceled the entire trip. All tickets, all reservations, everything. She blew up at me and started lashing out. I had the boys unpack and I did the same, which made her go crazy and yell at everybody in the house. She went to stay with her sister, while exposing that I did to the rest of the family who thought I made a big deal out of it, and should have canceled the trip that I promised the whole family. Edit number 1. I'm planning another trip with the boys without my wife, but right now there's a huge conflict in the family and even Adam is upset, and blames Leo for everything that's happened. I'm trying to get everyone to calm down and we'll see where this goes. Edit number 2. I've decided, and following some opinions here, to speak to Adam to see exactly why he blames Leo for what happened. He just got home and I'm about to get him into a separate room for a private talk, to be able to hear his side in this and find out why he feels this way. If there's any relevant information, I'll add it below. Edit 3. I spoke with Adam. Turns out, Rose told him I canceled the trip after Leo changed his mind, quote, last minute, and that I decided to cancel it for everyone else and fought with her when she tried to convince me to go anyways, and let Leo go stay with his aunt. This is just, I don't know what to say to do, to be frankly honest. Adam didn't even want to talk, but I told him we needed to talk. He and Leo aren't speaking right now because of this, and I'm struggling trying to clean up the mess. I was actually thinking about calling Rose, but after this, I've decided I need more space than she does. I'll have the boys sit together. It's hard to do, but I'll try, and talk to this, but I'm going to focus on the other major issues I have with what Rose did. To me, it was an easy answer, not the a-hole. If you don't agree, that's totally cool, just drop down your reasoning. And let's look at the top comment. Not the a-hole. Your wife canceled your son's reservation because she didn't want to go on a vacation with him. Your son's 14. He just lost his mother and then had to adjust to you getting remarried. Your wife is not an a-hole. She's the definition of an a-hole. And canceling the trip was definitely the right thing to do. Plus, it's his personality. Introvert people, even with the closest friends, are a bit restrained yet. So why is this woman going to take his mom place be much different? She's just too immature to handle him. Guys, I could not agree more. I think that was absolutely ridiculous. To go ahead and just cancel his airplane ticket, he's 14 years of age. Guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Here's story number 2. Am I the a-hole for tricking my parents into becoming or being on time for my wedding for once? I'm 33 and my parents are late for everything. Like everything. Both of my sisters and myself have been disappointed oh so many times. Graduation ceremonies, birthday parties, even my father's retirement dinner. It's completely my mother's fault. She's a wonderful mother and I love her dearly. She just doesn't understand the concept of punctuality. I've seen her talking to her sister on the phone and reminded her she needed to be at my baby sister dance recital. She literally just waved me off, and guess what? Arrived after my sister danced. Well, I guess we're just used to it. My dad's just done trying to get her to be on time for anything. My now wife, female 28, told me in no uncertain terms that if my mother was ever late for our wedding, she would do terrible things to me. She was only half joking, but she was a witness to my mom and dad arriving halfway through my cousin's quinceañera. So, here's what I did. It's completely on me and my wife was not involved. If there's a jerk move, it was completely mine. When we were getting samples for the wedding, I talked to the printer and had one special invitation, printed with the time on it starting just an hour earlier than the actual start time of said ceremony. My mother was beside herself, apparently, when they left the house and thought they were going to miss the wedding, since she was a part of it with her and my mother-in-law lighting the candles we could use to light the unity candle and stuff. When she arrived, I noticed other people were also just arriving and parking. She was so relieved that they were starting late that she just went with it. The ceremony went off beautifully, and so did the wedding pictures and the reception. The problem came last Saturday. My parents came over for a big family dinner, and we didn't bother starting the grill until they showed up. She asked why everyone wasn't eating, and we just said that we knew we would be waiting for them since they're always late. She said that she was not always late. In fact, she had been on time for the wedding. No, she hadn't been. They arrived 45 minutes after the time on their invitation. My idiot cousin John, real name because it's common and he deserves people to know he's an idiot, snorted at her statement. A few other people grinned and smiled at this. She picked up on it and asked, "Hey, what's so funny?" I came clean and told her about the quote special invitation. She's mad at me for not trusting her and making her look foolish in front of everybody. If my cousin had just controlled himself, she would have never known. Am I the a-hole? Quick edit. Part of the reason she's mad is because she had her invitation framed. To be honest, I was already planning a heist with my sisters to replace it with a real one, in case she ever noticed a discrepancy between hers and the one we framed in our home. Not the a-hole is basically every single comment, but here's the top one. Not the a-hole. How can she complain? If she had sent her an invite with the real time, then she would have been 45 minutes late. She should appreciate the fact that you wanted her to be there enough, that you took the time to make her a special invite to ensure she arrived on time. Guys, I can't stress enough, I have to agree with that simply because, okay, say for instance she does get the one that's on time, and she misses the entire thing because she's late. How would she feel then? It would have been a lot more dramatic than misprinting another card. Guys, let me know your thoughts on that story, or if you've ever had a situation like that, let me hear it. Final story is titled this. Am I the a-hole for only paying for myself when my fiancé and future in-laws invited me to a New Year's Eve dinner with ulterior motives in their mind? I'm 32 and female, just got engaged to my fiancé Sam. We do not live together because we're waiting till marriage, given he and his family are highly conservative Christians. But they're really nice and lovable people. I had plans to spend New Year's Eve with Sam, but he said he was out for New Year's Eve dinner celebration with his parents, then called me again inviting me to join them, and I happily did. His parents were there, they welcomed me and ordered many dishes and desserts and drinks. We celebrated and had a great time, that is, until it was time to pay. I'd pulled my wallet out of my bag, letting them know that we'll split the check between us. Sam mumbled, no, you don't have to, we invited you. But I insisted. He and his parents then stared at me. I asked what was wrong, and both mother-in-law and father-in-law said they didn't have money on them. I was shocked. I turned to Sam, and he said he forgot his wallet as well at home, and didn't bring enough money to even cover a round of drinks. His dad. then laughed nervously, saying, all right, so guess we should let the doctor pay. I was taken back. I said, I'm sorry, but no, this is just so much money to spend on one dinner by myself, and I didn't think I was expected to pay the entire bill. Sam said I should pay and he'd pay me back later, but I said no, since I know he'll have to get a job to pay that much money. I said I'm sorry, but this isn't the first time I've been put in this situation by him and family, where I'm expected to rescue them after they somehow forgot their wallets, and just expect me to pay hundreds of their extravagant dinner. I told them I'll only pay for what I had and that's it. He and his parents were shocked. They started arguing about how I have the potential to pay right then and there. But I was acting as if it were strangers, not family. But that doesn't mean I'm obligated to pay. How could someone go out to a fancy restaurant, order so many dishes, desserts, and drinks without bringing $1? Sam begged that I just do it and call it a night, but I refused. The argument got heated, then I got up and walked out. Sam later called at 2 a.m., basically yelling that I ruined New Year's Eve celebration and made his parents suffer because I refused to pay the entire bill and instead of acting selfishly, and paid only for myself after they were gracious enough to even invite me. I told him how unfair it was for me to pay. Even if I have a good salary, it doesn't mean I want to spend it all on fancy dinners. He did not reply. He just said he'll pray that my parents will let this go and not resent me after I basically damaged the relationship with them. I felt awful thinking I should have covered the bill instead of leaving. Am I the a-hole, guys? Please drop it down below. Another one to me, and this is the first time in a lot of videos where I thought the judgment was pretty obvious on all stories. This one has to be not the a-hole, right? I think what makes it clearly not the a-hole is the fact that OP says this has happened more times than once, which is amazing that they still think they could get away with it. And the little comment the father said about, let the doctor pay. That's just out of line a little bit considering she was not even the one that invited people. She was invited there to celebrate with them. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this story. Drop it down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, if you want to, it does support me a lot. All you have to do is click the subscribe button right under this video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.